Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm actually wearing an appropriate shirt. I'm wearing my Flash shirt as I'm going to talk about Grant Gustin's Flash. Did I plan this? Actually, no. I just randomly worn this, and I was looking up Arrowverse news, and this was one of them, so coincidence. Anywho, let's get into the article. It says, everything the Flash teased about the future that hasn't happened yet. If it hasn't happened yet, then they need to address it in the last season. And it's going to be 13 episodes, so they can't like dilly-dally like if they had a 21 episode arc. Anyway, let's read. Numerous teases about the future hosts for Barry Allen have yet to pan out in The Flash. With the series coming to an end, with a 13 episode final season, time is running out for the show to pay off each one. Some may never come to fruition or become anything more than Easter eggs, while others could end up driving all new Arrowverse stories in season 9. Thanks to the show's heavy use of time travel, the Flash have been able to find room for all sorts of references to classic DC characters connected to the world of the Scarlet Speedster. By introducing various time travelers and sending its characters into the time stream, the Flash paved the way for several key developments long before they could ever happen. Iris marrying Barry and a live-action debut of the Thinker are among the many events predicted the Flash of the events did transpire. Hold up. Sorry, he was wanting food. Sorry. Anywho, interestingly, quite a few of these moments haven't happened yet. Here's every tease the Flash can still address. Barry creates Gideon. It was established in The Flash Season 1 that Gideon was an artificial AI contained in the vault of Star Labs, was designed by Barry in the future before being acquisited by Reverse Flash. In 8 seasons, Barry has yet to have a reason to develop an AI, but based on what's known about the timeline, the creation of Gideon should happen sooner or later. What's not clear is if the Flash will force Barry down this road within the story of the series, or if viewers will have to assume that it will happen when he's much older. I actually forgot that was a tease in season 1. Would I like to see that happen? Sure. I mean, there are multiple times when the Flash could have had a chance to have Barry introduce Gideon, because there are multiple times when Barry, like, Star Labs shut down and lost power, and any of those times could have been, hey, we lost Gideon, we need you, Barry, to introduce Gideon, or to make Gideon, right? So I feel like one those times happen like one of those times when they had a blackout at Star Labs, perfect chance to have Gideon. Sadly, they didn't take it though. Anyways, The Flash vs. Red Death. In a season 5 episode that discussed Cicada's killing spree in the future, Barry said in a recording that the villain killed many people, more people than the Red Death. The Flash name-dropping comic book villains was nothing new, but what was partially surprising about this revelation is that Red Death is a twisted, evil version of Batman who become a speedster in an alternate timeline. Later, Javicia Leslie's Batwoman talked about fighting a speedster described as Lady in Red in the Flash Armageddon crossover. This raised speculation that the Arrowverse was planned a gender-swapped take on DC's evil speedster's Batman. Now that has been revealed via the Flash Season 9 set photos that Leslie is returning to the show to play Red Death, it's become apparent that this is exactly what the show has been building up towards. Yeah, there's been reports about her coming back to do it. And am I surprised she's coming back? No. But Batwoman essentially casted a dude who was the Earth Prime's version of Bruce Wayne, right? So we could have easily gotten that guy to come back as Bruce Wayne, making his essentially his debut as the Batman, is in a way, with Red Death. Because they said Red Death, because I'm new to Red Death, they said Red Death is a twisted, evil version of Batman who became a speedster in an alternate timeline. So they're wasting a good opportunity for their Earth Prime Bat Bruce Wayne that was casted already to be Red Death. I honestly would rather see that before seeing Joe Pesci as Leslie returning as Batwoman, being the Batwoman version of Red Death. I mean, and this is not me trying to this isn't me making any jabs towards Joe Pesci as Leslie. It's just we hadn't seen Batman really. We seen Bruce Wayne being Kevin Conroy, but we didn't see him in the Batsuit. And like I said, on Earth Prime, we've seen Bruce Wayne's face. Even though Bruce Wayne's face, I'm referencing the Tommy Elliott story in Batwoman, but Tommy Elliott is that identity thief. He strictly makes himself look like Bruce Wayne. So, essentially casting Batman or Bruce Wayne. So why can't we get that actor to be Red Death? Huge opportunity missing. Anyways, Barry and Iris having children. It's been understood as early as season 4 finale that Barry and Iris will have at least one child together. Now it's no secret that Barry and Iris will be parents to not one but 2 kids, Nora and Bart West Island. But while the adult versions of the children have been featured prominently in the series, neither has been conceived in the present day timeline. That being said, it's hard to imagine the show ending without the Flash delivering a true beginning to the Flash family. Whether it's an event for the first time or the series finale, there's a good chance that Iris will become pregnant with Nora at some point in the Flash Season 9. Depending on the timeline, she could give birth to in the last episode. Now, yeah, that they do have a point, because I think towards the end of Season 7 for Arrow, Felicity gave birth to Mia Queen. So they could they could do the similar thing with Iris giving birth to Nora. Have it be a nice ending to the Flash. But also, if they ever wanted to continue the Flash story, that could also serve as we're ending one story, but we're closing one door but keeping one door potentially open type thing. So kind of like how they did with Mia Queen when they were planning to do the Green Arrow and the Canary show, which I immediately want to see still. Anywho, Godspeed and Zoom team up to fight Barry. Barry's trip into the Still Force in Season 8 tipped him off to a major fight in 2024, which 2024. I guess by the time this will be like the season will be out, will be a year after. Anyways, according to a newspaper headline, he'll eventually find himself in a fight with both Godspeed and Zoom. An alliance between the main antagonists of the show's second and sixth seasons would certainly be a troubling scenario with almost insurmountable odds for Team Flash. Now, before I continue this, they could have it where they move the timeline up from 2024 to 2023 because they did the same thing with Crisis. I believe if, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I do believe that Crisis, the Flash was supposed to be disappearing in Crisis in like 2024, but then we saw the news article go from 2024 to like 2019 or 2020. So we could have the same thing. And the reason why that happened with the Crisis base because they were gearing up for a Crisis on Infinite Earths. So them pushing it, like having the 2024 deadline be 2023 could work. And who knows, it could have potentially the Reverse Flash come in and have him have a heroic ending. I don't know. Because they sure do love Theobald Thawne. And they refuse to let that guy die. They seriously refuse to let that guy die. I feel like he should have died a few seasons ago. Because they killed him a few times in The Flash. They killed him a few times in I think one time in Legends of Tomorrow, and he still came back. Just saying. Anyways, let me finish this Godspeed Zoom team up part. But if the Flash Season 9 story stretches into 2024, a Godspeed Zoom team up will become all more likely for the series. As the two of his characters are individually capable of pushing Barry to his limit, both of them showing up in the same episode could force Barry to pull all the stops to win. True. Cobalt Blue becomes a negative Speed Force avatar. In the Season 8 finale, a blue crystal was shown when Team Flash was talking about an inevitable outcome of the negative Speed Force, picking a new avatar to replace Reverse Flash. Given that the blue crystal resembles the talisman wielded by Flash feeling Cobalt Blue, the obvious implication of the tease is that not only will Cobalt Blue be Airborne's successor, but he'll serve as one of Season 9's main villains. Without mentioning the character by name, showrunner Eric Wallace has confirmed that the subject of the Blue Crystal tease is indeed the very person fans expected it to be. Okay. I'm not too familiar with who Cobalt Blue is, to be honest. The Flash versus the Chronarch. When Barry Allen battled the time traveler Abra Cadabra in Season 7 episode, he was warned by the latter of a threat known as Chronarch. In fact, Cadabra claimed that in killing Barry, he'd be sparing him from ever enduring Wrath of Chronarch. Cadabra's choice of word laid the groundwork for the Chronarch to be one of Barry's deadliest adversaries if and when he appears. So, for who the Chronarch actually is, the name belongs to a very minor character in the DC associated with Cadabra's backstory. In the comics book, Chronarch is power-hungry 60th, 4th century dictator in Cadabra's timeline. And the last one. Max Mercury joins Team Flash. When Barry saw visions of his past, present, and future in the Still Force, he named off a list of people who have been counted as friends of Team Flash, including Jesse, Harry, and Wally, and most curiously, someone called Max. Since Barry has no known acquaintances by that name, it's clear that Max is someone who will be friended by Team Flash at some point down the road, potentially before the Flash ends. Well, while a last name wasn't mentioned for the character, there's little doubt that the show was teasing Max Mercury, a golden age speedster and a 19th century superhero. So pretty much teasing another time traveling hero. Okay. Based on his name was included the same sentence as several of the Flash's closest allies, it makes sense that upon meeting Barry, Max Mercury will become a full Flash member of the Flash family, and perhaps even one last mentor to Barry. Though Barry has been a superhero for 8 years, it's possible that there is still more for him to learn about his speedster's powers. If there's anyone out there who might be more experienced than Barry or Jay Garrett, it would have to be Max Mercury, who could very well make his Arrowverse debut in one of the Flash's final 13th episodes. So there you guys go. There are the cheeses that the Flash show has made that hasn't done yet. And I have to admit, the one that I would like someone interested in seeing is Barry creating Gideon. Not so much not so much versus Red Death, because they're having Ryan Wilder being that, but Gatsby and Zoom teaming up to fight Barry. That would be a very interesting episode to see. I would very much like to see that. And the others, I'm not too familiar with. It comes on Barry and Iris having children, which we've seen. Which, am I interested in seeing that? I don't know. Like I said, it could be used as a bittersweet ending for the Flash series finale. Like, we're closing one door, but we're leaving one door open if we ever touch the Flash again. If there's ever room for, like, I guess the Arrowverse to resurface, there we go. And I'll be up for that. I'll be game for that. But I like those 5 subject matters that we went over. What's the one that you guys are the most interested in? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you later. Later, taters. And there we go. There's my mouse.